pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, apologize, I'm running a little late. Got a lot going on. Sheriff's Court. All right. Call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Tom,
Present.
Jeff,
Present.
here, Wes, Eric,
Yes.
Nick, Hunter,
Here. All right. Let's move on to the meetings from the last minute. Minutes from the last meeting. Jeff, a chance to review the minutes?
Yes, I have.
I have as well. Motion to accept the minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Claims, Jeff, had a chance to review?
Yes, I have.
You satisfied?
Yes, I am.
Make a motion to move with the minutes accepted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright. So, the approval of monthly bank statements, is it separate from the claims?
yeah.
So, this is, which one did you want to sign? All of this and that. That's the official copy. So, we're just gonna review that. Portable control plan. Mr. Doss, I see you've signed. I make a motion we accept.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That stuff aside. Alright, let's get into it. Old business, Cheeseman property. I've called, left a message, you guys never call me back.
Same.
Send a text, never text me back.
No, I didn't send the text, but.
What's going on? Nothing.
What
What's
do you
going on with
need?
it up there?
Yeah, what's going on?
He's under, West, what do you call, let West take it.
Well, we came to an agreement last year. We issued a notice to him under the unsafe building ordinance to do something with the building up there. It was
By the road?
Yeah, it was up there.
He
in
talked to me
disrepair.
about that.
Okay.
The
So,
trees growing up around it.
and they did do some work up there, as I understand, and then things kind of come to a standstill, and the town, and part of the agreement was that the town would hold off on any kind of enforcement action against them if they would clean up the property. And we've tried, we kind of backed off over the winter time because.
I mow up around there
Yeah.
a little bit. The drive that goes up, because
Sure.
I live right.
Well, we're talking about the
one
restaurant.
town by the-
We're talking about the
Okay.
restaurant.
Well, I'm just, well, whether.
Well, the restaurant uptown.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the property we're talking about.
Oh,
One
where
they
the
tore down.
building was torn
Where the
down?
building was torn
Well,
down.
I was told the town owns that building.
No.
Nope.
No,
He's
That
supposed to.
you guys tore down.
no.
He was under,
They instead of the town doing it, they came in. The two brothers came in last fall,
September,
October. We agreed to hold off on any kind of enforcement against them as long as they took it down within a reasonable time. And they did take the
Yeah.
building down, but there's some dissatisfaction with the state of things right now, the way it looks.
Yeah,
And-
them properties are all joined together with all the family. Just not one can try and sell a property.
Well,
They gotta have an agreement with
And
them
that's
all,
what
and none of them don't agree.
we're trying to get
You
them
know?
to finish up with whatever they're going to do with that, as far as get some more gravel hauled in there, something to finish making that look nice.
I've got one of the the one that's living up there in their house now, I've got his number that lives
Yeah,
there.
I've got his number, and
It's
I've
been
got
here
the,
several times.
and I've got
They don't
the
respond.
brother down in Florida too,
Yeah,
that came up.
there's one out in Arkansas.
And
where
so
it's-
those are the two that we've talked to, so
Yeah.
that's who, we're trying to work with them, and they have back, you know, they did tear the building down, that's a good first step, but I think the object is to get it up to par as far as, so it's not continues to be an eyesore for the town.
Well, maybe the town should probably try and just get them to see it your guys' way on donating that little bit of property to the
Well,
town.
we've
tried.
We've tried, and
We've
and-
offered to buy it.
We've
And there's
tried,
been no-
we've tried donation, we've tried offers, we've tried everything involved with it, and now we're just being ghosted with it. So now we'll have to have Wes enforce.
He was just up at the house yesterday, and I should know.
Bruce was?
No.
Bruce is in charge of it.
Okay, it's the other one that lives there in the house.
Bruce wasn't in Florida, you say he's down in Arkansas?
Yeah, that's where he told me he was going last, and he said he wasn't coming back.
Well,
He
he's
was
moving
up in, it's been a couple years ago, and he was up there in a box straight truck, and he was loading all stuff. He goes all over, and he buys stuff, and he's got like,
Supposedly hotels.
he goes around these
house-
flea markets and sells stuff,
Oh.
is what he.
Well, we got a hold of him the last time in Florida.
Okay,
That's where Barry's at, and he was down there around Barry.
okay.
He's ghosting us now, so now we're
Sent
gonna proceed
certified
with
letters
full
and
force
everything
of
else.
law.
Okay,
Let's just take
he
it.
must have
Go after
come
it.
back to Florida then.
They're doing just enough to skirt the edges, and we're done with it, so
Okay.
we're going to have Wes go after it and take
No,
care
the
of it.
property, we had actually, or Linda actually went to get it off tax sale.
Yeah.
We had bought it.
Yeah.
We was within one day of actually owning it when he paid his taxes. So we had to surrender, he had to pay us our tax money, plus what hit the
That was
taxes
Bruce
on
that
it.
paid it, or?
Somebody did.
Yes,
Somebody did.
one of them did. We don't
They
know which one.
redeemed it somehow, but
Yeah.
they had to pay the interest and expenses that the town incurred in getting it, plus all the back taxes on it, so.
But they had him hold around to the very last day, basically.
Yeah, I forget the brother that's living up there in the house. Who?
Myron.
Yeah, he comes and goes about every 3 or 4 days there. Sometimes I won't see him for at least maybe a month. And then he'll come and he'll break out that old mower and just hit some grass up the grass a little bit. And sometimes I try to chat with him and stuff then. But you know, he's always.
Next time you mow and you see him,
Mm,
we're done.
okay.
He's forfeited all the rights as far as I'm concerned. Now it's all legal. So
Okay.
we gave him
So,
darn near a year, and they touched
I
the
think
first
he's been
3
staying
weeks
out
and
the
then walked
campground.
away.
He's got a lady friend that he stays with, and when he talked to him, like he hangs out the campground, you
And it
know.
don't mean to nothing.
Yeah.
I just, we turn Wes on it, it's
Yeah.
done, it's over.
I get you.
There's no more coming to the meetings and asking for forgiveness.
We
It's
just
been
want the
too
place
long.
cleaned up and taken care of.
That's
so
why
it's
I
not
brought that
like
up, because I figured they
It's causing us
might
some
see an eye to
problems in
eye
our
on that piece
buildings,
of property.
grade
and,
wise, and we can't touch it, so we're done with it.
You know,
It's
they
all
will never
over.
do nothing with it. They should just donate to the town no more than what that
They
little piece of
won't, we
property.
offered that, we offered to put a park in, put the name on it, like a flagpole, benches, stuff like that, up there, and they refused to let it go. So at this point, we're done. We've done everything we can. Wes, what do you think? As much as we
When
can?
I see
Now
one-
it's all legal from this point
We were
forward.
very
so we'll see where
patient
they
with them,
go
I
and how
think, the
much
first
they
time
want to
around, and I, you know, even holding off because of the weather in the winter time when they.
Gave them every opportunity.
So, I think it's
Yep.
time.
It's Wes's job now.
Yeah.
It's all involved, of course.
Well, I don't think there's never going to be anything anyway unless I'd like to come to force divorce.
It's over with, we're done dealing with it, so we'll let Wes take over and we'll see what, it'll probably take 2-3 years doing anything with it, that's kinda how the wheels roll. But at this point, you know what, they're not gonna do it anyway, so we have to take care of it, make it look right, we're done with it, so. Moving on, grant contingency. Who's speaking on that behalf? Kevin?
Yeah,
Randy? Not here? Kevin?
Randy's not here. From what I understand, I just talked to Kevin Beauty before I came in. He's gonna get everything else wrapped up next 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, as far as the float and the wet weather tank.
Do we have the,
Deflector didn't work, did it?
No. Deflector didn't work, pumps are still plugging. I told the engineer and I said, something's gotta be done, maybe you need to consult somebody else. And so she said she would check and see if she can get somebody else to look into it.
So on behalf of Ridgeville, we've given plenty of time,
Yes.
plenty of notice. Wes, what can we do at this point?
You know, I think we're kind of back to, again, back to kind of where we were about a year ago this time, which was let's give them let's put them on notice that what they've designed us, because, and I don't know for sure, you'll have to refresh my memory here, have we decided whether or not that issue is a defect in the manufacturing? Is it a design? Like, I think we may need to have our own.
That's why I asked her for an outside source to come
opinion.
in and verify what they say about it, and then we have everything to give to
I mean,
you.
I think, you know, one approach to take is, you know, sue them all and let God sort them out kind of thing, right? It's not our fault. We know that. It's either the manufacturer, it's the design, it's the, I don't, what I'm hearing from everybody so far is it's not the contractor's fault necessarily. We believe it was installed correctly. They may take a different view. I don't know. Once you start pointing the finger at somebody, they may try to blame Judy's, but I mean, I would feel better before we go forward getting an outside opinion from an engineer or somebody to give us an opinion that, you know, yeah, this thing works right. This is not a defective piece of equipment, or it's just not appropriate for this type of facility. It'd be nice to have that in hand. I think we're going to need that anyway. Is what I'm getting at. If you're going to try to, you know, but if we're going to try to force some kind of settlement or some kind of action short of filing a lawsuit, I think we want to have that outside engineer or expert, somebody, whoever it is. I would say probably an engineer to come in and look at it and say, yeah, this thing's not ever going to work right, or yeah, it works just fine, except it's just not appropriate for this type of facility.
So
That's what I
they're
asked
bringing
for.
third party on their own, right? No expense to Ridgeville?
That's the way I said, you know, she said.
I give them
"Did
a timeline too.
Did you contact them again? I said, no. What is the point?
Do you think
I think we need to give
you
them.
send them a letter
Well,
saying,
yeah, I
I
mean,
think that's a step ahead yet?
I would say the next, you know, maybe the next time you talk to them, like, we want an answer by next month's meeting. Like, we want somebody in here. We want to know that A, somebody's either been here, or B, they're going to be when they're coming, right? Who is this outside person? And put them on a deadline, because I feel like we've been just kind of jerked around again. It's another one of those things where, you know, the town keeps just getting a runaround throughout this whole project, where we're told, and you know, I think we got to start holding feet to the fire with the deadline.
I think it's time
Obviously,
to,
because the run times on the pumps are just phenomenal, because they just sit there and just spin and not pump, and just all kinds of issues that the town's actually paying for.
Right.
Plus the man hours, or the weekends, or whenever.
Absolutely. You know, I mean, we're incurring a lot of expense in somebody's mistake. And I think we're to the point now where it's not just, it needs to be fixed, we're going to need compensated.
exactly.
For
We talked
some of
about
this,
that
we-
a year ago in a meeting. We
Yeah.
had them in here, just them.
Yeah,
And said, look, what we're paying, either you fix it or you have to compensate us
Right.
for all our time,
So-
labor, overtime, everything we're doing.
You know, I feel like we've done what we should do up to this point, as far as giving them notice that there's a problem, give them an opportunity to fix it, either in whatever fashion. And here we are, almost a year later. Now it's time to get that outside opinion, and
I hope
Let it be their third party man, but we're well beyond the excuses. We
Yeah.
can't blame the last board, we can't blame anyone else.
Well, I'd like
It's
to
our
see the
problem now,
independent
we have
guy
to
say
fix it.
something different, and that's putting the fine screen in front of the pumps. I'd like to hear the independent guy say that.
And
Well, that should've
that's
been
kind of
engineered
what I
in.
was getting at. Let's just
Hey,
get some.
we tried to get it done
But
beforehand.
like he says, let's not have to pay for it ourselves.
Yeah.
Right.
That
But
shouldn't be at
that
our
shouldn't be something we
expense.
paid for.
Right.
We didn't engineer it, we didn't
I'll,
put it in.
I'll see if Curry or Fleece and Banner bring their pumps what it's supposed to be. Yeah, it's in the design, what it was meant to, what it was spec'd out to be, and it's not happening.
Yeah, we just got a cardboard punch out, we set in, thought it'd be fine, it's not.
Yep.
So we need to follow up on it. And again, Kevin, keep on that, let us know.
I
Hunter,
did,
you
and
too.
I just turned in the compliance plan tonight, or today, this afternoon, the updated one, with language on the I&I issues that we have in town. And I don't know if. Tony's
I&I, you're sending my stuff to Yahoo and I can't even access, I guess that's.
Inflow and infiltration on residents that been smoke tested before. So I don't know, did they turn those letters over to you yet? Okay. I gave her the go-ahead.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay. So they already have letters ready, about 22 letters to individual residents that have issues that need to be fixed and then verified through Hunter or Randy that they can fix. So I've got that going, and I did put it in my compliance plan, so they know that's happening also.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. All right, we're gonna move on. Brush pile, limbs laid around town, item emergency order. Who's on top of that? Randy?
Yeah, I know there was.
Tim asked me today if he should be going around picking all these limbs up. I said the time frame for them to have been put up is over. These people are going to come up with ways of getting rid of their stuff. A lot of them just automatically think, that's our job. That's not. One lady cut a tree down last year and then drug it all to the road thinking it was our job. We did, we cleaned it up, but Tim and Randy really don't have time to go clean the brush up for everybody. That's my thought.
With that said, what we're gonna run into is people on their own properties burning. You know, being that it's fallen wood, as long as they're doing it in a manner that's not during a dry spell, and they're doing it along the lines of a campfire situation with a fire ring, but just kind of let everybody know in that situation, according to the state law, all we have to have happen is one neighbor complain about the smoke, meaning that they can't breathe or whatever, and then we have to have it put out. It's just that simple. And
And if you don't put it out yourself, the fire department has to come and charge your insurance.
so with that said, that's the next thing that's gonna be coming.
I've got that tree stuff that's sitting out in my middle of my field now. I had a big tree that fell down in my front yard in the winter time. It took me all winter to get it cleaned up, and I just had John Slocum come with his excavator and pick it up and put it out there in the middle of my field because I had all the brush and everything all broke up there, and I was going to burn that right there, but I've got long enough hoses. I got about 500 feet of hoses that's going to run out there so nothing wouldn't get out of control, but I was going to wait in the evening after the sun went down, and I was going to do that sometime I got a chance to.
What I would recommend you do is call the county, notify them, and first call the fire department. Tell them to control burn. You're gonna be there, you're gonna be present. If the chief has time, he'll come down and look at it, kind of thing. Call the county, notify them. They'll let you know what you can or can't do. That's how it really worked in the past. We've gotten away from that with this whole campfire hot dog thing.
Yeah.
You got a big enough brush pile, people need to be aware so they don't roll. Because once they roll trucks, it's insurance involved.
Yeah, everything else that I have, I take down in my woods, and I burn it right on
And I think
the
IDEM
river
has
bank.
a personal property situation where you can burn as long as it's rubbish.
That's what I've been burning down
From the
there.
state side, wasn't there some caveat in there? Oh, here it is.
I've
This
got,
is misleading as all get out.
I've got a load sitting on my truck right now that's.
So this is
out
what we
by
get from IDEM.
yeah.
They told us we could no longer burn. Have you seen this?
No.
So, I would suggest just contacting all the right people. Being a small town that we are, we subscribe to the county for a lot of their rules and recommendations. Because we don't have enough people to build our own boards.
I've been burning down there in my woods right on the river, because the river runs right through my property. And I've been burning right there on the river for many years, ever since '93, since I've been there.
But the thing is, it's come to the point where it's no longer our decision. We're given these laws, and if we don't enforce them, then they come back on us and find us as a town. So we're just trying to let everybody know what you can and can't do. But I would recommend you call the fire chief,
In Winchester,
Gary Barnett.
Gary Barnett. Okay, I knew you were talking about Gary.
Yeah, talk to him, and then if he says, yeah, go ahead and just,
Okay.
we're fine with that kind of thing, and we feel you
Yeah, that
protect
stuff
it.
was pretty
Then you call the
big.
county, and if their business number, let them know what you're doing, so that way someone else doesn't call, drive it through, and dispatch a truck, or call us to dispatch the truck. This insurance is completely involved at that point. Once we're called to go, it's an insurance thing.
Yeah, that horse, he wanders that pasture there, and I put everything right there in the middle, so there's nothing around that can ever catch on.
I would just recommend you
catch on
follow
fire.
those couple steps.
We can also get you a copy of the local ordinance for that.
Because
I
Like I
don't
said,
know if the
I've always
property
been
right there, is that in
burning
town or out of town?
for years, but I always did it down there in the woods right on the river.
I'd say if you
then
follow the
you're out of
steps,
town.
you'd be okay. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't, but it would be Gary Barnett, first of all,
Yeah.
chief of fire department.
I know Gary.
He'll tell you whether he thinks it's right or wrong, what's gonna happen. We don't have Randy tonight, he's the fire chief of Red Keys, he can tell you also where it comes into play. But as long as you notify everybody you can, and you're out there supervising it,
Yeah,
I would think, I don't know.
I
I'm
got
not
another
them.
question I was going to ask too. On these swimming pools, my boy has just got a small pool that holds 4 gallons of water, and he got it from Walmart. Just something to get in and walk from one time. He lives in Grant County, and this is Franklin County and Ridgeville, right?
It's right on the town,
Yeah.
Franklin
Roanoke
Township.
Okay. Well, he has a Ridgeville address out there where he lives on 27. You know where Ron Winningham used to live in the White House?
Yep.
That's where my boy lives, right there. And the town wouldn't come out there to pump any water in that pool because they said he was out of their jurisdiction. But he has a Ridgeville address. Everybody out there has a Ridgeville address.
That's a different township.
Yeah,
So
that's
it falls
where-
across
that's where
lines.
our township
Ridgeville
is.
can't knowingly go into their township without their permission because the opportunity is the same thing for you. Ridgeville may do it for free, Warden may charge you, we can't cross that line.
Well,
Gary Barnett said they're not
he didn't
supposed
care
to
whether he was
install.
going to be charged or not. He just wanted somebody to come out, truck the water out, and pump it.
It's all,
And-
it's
and
all
pump
about the
water.
laws and the rules
You know, I
and
mean,
workforce.
Either way, somebody was going to get money.
Yeah,
you know.
that's not the problem. We'd love to take it. Thing is, the rules say we can't no longer.
Because we had a fire out there, and the Ridgeville Fire Department come out there on that fire,
Yeah,
on that
it's mutual
property.
aid.
Mutual aid.
Okay.
Mutual
all right,
aid.
okay.
We have a contract with the departments around us that say that if we don't have enough manpower, enough water, they call us, we have to respond. Not that we would anyways. They call us, and then the insurance takes all that money, figures out who's the fault, what's going on, we split that up, and then that's how it works. It's not about, we don't want to.
Well,
It's
James
not
got back
across
with
lines.
me later on that evening and said, Tim, I was getting ready to come, but I couldn't make it because they told me that was out of the township.
Yeah, so
And
you
I
have the
told him, I
county,
said, well, that-
and
he's
you
got
have 5 or
Ridgeville
6
address.
townships involved with it, and you can't cross their lines because the ultimate end of it is, townships you serve offer to pay you money towards your department. So now it's all about money. Can you go there, can you not go there? You can't cross that line without their permission. So we can't go fill a pool wherever we want to if we cross the line because it can't happen. We're not allowed to. And the laws and restrictions on it are so tough that our fire department really can't do it. Some do, some have tankers
Well,
just for it, and they want to do it.
Saratoga used to do it, but they quit doing it because our water is nasty over there. And people complained about it. But James gave me Roger Goff's number, and I called him. They came out the next day that morning, and they did it for $225, and that's what the
You
town.
probably save money.
And that's
by
what the
doing
town
that.
of Ridgeville was going, what James and what the town was going to charge. And I said, well, that's fine. I said, he didn't lose out anything. I was just
No.
wondering why the town wouldn't take that money.
Because the government says we can't.
Okay, that's well, all right. I wanted to know that.
That's what we're stuck up against is
Okay.
truck.
So I'll know. We'll know what to do next year. You know, I kept his number.
Yeah.
And he come out with
There's
with a big semi tanker, and
Yeah.
and,
Yeah,
and pumped it
and
right.
do it
He
right
got the
away.
water out of Winchester.
And it's
We
not
got-
that expensive.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. I live in Ridgeville, and I need to go off my well, which I don't want to because all the iron and everything in my water.
Yeah.
I pay a guy to come in and pump it in the floor.
Well, that's the way we came out there. I said, man, you don't want to run that pump that water. That's 4,000 gallons. I said, you burn that pump up with that
Right.
much water.
So that's where that's the thing is it's not that Ridgeville doesn't want to. It's our hands are more and more tied what we can do, and then insurance restrictions on what we do, and that's kind of how it's working.
All right. I'll have an answer for him.
Yep. So next item up, perf and retirement. We've never got very far on that, to be honest, from my standpoint. The situation where perf does not fit Ridgeville's budget, just to be completely honest. It's not something we can do or we're interested in doing. We do other things instead of that. That's kind of where we're at. Without getting real deep, I've talked to several people, several financial advisors, things like that. It just doesn't fit. You gotta 15 plus employees to make perf work. Kind of, this is the number I've been hearing. Kind of.
Yeah, I printed off a bunch of that information. I think there's a way to get into it, but I think the bottom line is the finance of it.
It
Piece of
costs
what you got to pay to
Ridgeville
get in.
way too much to have it done. We just can't afford to do it. That's the bottom line. That's where we're at. So,
Never mind.
go ahead.
I've got something I want to know where the town's budget is sitting. Is my street down there where I live at, the last time that street was blacktop was in 1993 when I moved there in that small farm, the Burstburgers and the Michaels, and I used to live across the street there. And now the street has been dug up, and I've noticed there's more and more traffic traveling that road now. They come in town that way, and they turn on that street there, come up that way, and they go straight out to Jay County, and they're bypassing uptown. And that street is getting all broken down. I've got Josh, that is my neighbor now. He has spent over $50,000 in that house that he had to purchase, plus what he's put in that house, and plus the hard work he has cleaned that property up. And he's coming down through there with his trailers and stuff because he does construction work and he works on people's houses and stuff. And that road is just getting all broke up to. When I go down that street, I've got to go to one side to the other side because there's potholes. And it's not working out by filling the potholes with mix because the town does not have one of them vibrators to pack that asphalt down. And that street actually needs to be re-blacktop right there from Tharp's house where they stop, blacktop from there up. It needs to be blacktop from there around the curve and up to the stop sign where Charlie Stewart's house used to be. Because there's places where Mark and Andy, when he was on town, they put a new water line down through there and they dug up across the street, and now it dips through there. And there was a person just brought that up to me the other day and said that is the roughest street in the whole town of Ridgeville. So I went driving around Ridgeville looking at all the streets, and that street there it's a mess now since John Slocum had to go down there and dig that up and fix that water main down there, that sewer main down there, because it's having an effect on me too. Sure. You know, I was going down there and pulling that manhole up, and I would stick a garden hose down in there, and I would just let her run full throttle for hours before it'd break loose, and I would just pay the difference on my water bill. But I went and said something to Tim Page a couple of times what I was doing, and he said, well, I'll say something to the girls uptown. But I've had to do that like 3 or 4 times, but since they fixed that right there, I haven't had any more problems. Because I'm on the main line, and everything that comes out of there, I've got to push everybody else's crap on down the road. Sure. You know?
It's understood.
That's what I was wanting to see, where it's going to be in the budget next year about having that street re-blacktop, because when winter time comes, I'm going to be plowing that street. I plow that street all the way to the highway, and I plow it all the way to the church. I usually plow at the church with James, and I plow in front of my mom's house there and take care of my rental house there. And I plow that all the way out up to the top hat, and I know that we're going to be digging that gravel up out of that hole.
Absolutely. I don't disagree with you, 100%. I wish we had the money to fix roads.
How can the town get the proceeds?
Well, here's our situation. So we're stuck in a situation right now where a previous clerk, not Erlinda or Tony, never turned any information in, never filed any taxes, never filed a budget. Ridgeville is stuck into receiving back the first year prior budget to work off of, which we lost, I would say, somewhere close to $150,000, $200,000, most likely.
That's a lot of money.
But yeah, because the job wasn't done correctly. That position was resigned, walked away from, and we've since gotten a new clerk voted in by the town of Ridgeville. She's done all she can. We've hired every professional service there is to straighten out the situation. And we're still not straightened out. For me to tell you that I know what our budget is would be a lie at this point. We're not sure, are we, Tony?
No.
Because we've not reclaimed, recovered deposits, things like that, everything going on. I'm not saying anything inappropriate happened. What I'm saying is, it was done not correctly. So things were paid from accounts that shouldn't have been, that we can't reclaim. We're sitting with accounts that are not in a good position. And with government money, you just can't take the money and do what you want with it. It has to be split into accounts that are there. So we have a really bad situation going on, if you want to know the truth, and we're trying to fix it.
The only reason why I brought that up is because I've got these folks that are living here in the old Cox's house right across from me when you come on that curve. And then there's some people who lived over here in Imogen and Charlie Stewart's house. They've got that house trashed up right there. They moved a camper out of it. They got a truck that's 5 feet away from the road that has expired plates on it. And it has a flat tire and the place is looking real rough. But
No,
the
we're
lane-
different from a road now. You're going on something different.
I know, we're still looking on the road, because the reason I brought that up
Because here's the
is,
situation on the road. We can't even apply for a grant or money because our 2024 budget was, 23 budget was never filed, 24 budget was never filed with the state of Indiana.
the only reason I brought that up is because I figured if the street got blacktop, these two people would take care of their properties a little bit better because they could see the town doing something.
The problem
Let's
is,
stay
If
on
they cared, they would
topic.
care now.
let's stay on topic, so,
Let's go back to where we was. with the
perfect retirement. We'll come back to you if you got something in new business, but we have to continue. But yeah.
Okay.
For every one of you, I got 15 of you that talks to me at Walmart every single time. Everyone has a bad.
Well, like I said, I was just
get
seeing
it.
where it was in the budget to have that
We don't
done.
have a budget. We filed for a reclaim budget. Is that what it's called? A reclaim budget? We had to revert back a year to take that money, got no additional money because it wasn't done.
Well,
So-
I can't figure out how all these other towns is getting this
Because
money
they had their
to do
budget
it,
turned in on time.
and Ridgeville can't get anything.
That's called-
Just
The
said.
budget's been turned in.
If the budget
That's
was
why.
turned in on time, we could file for grants for road money. We've had them in here. We've talked to them. We've interviewed them. We can't get a grant because the budget was never filed. That discloses you or disclaims you from filing a budget, for filing for any grants. We can't file for anything. Period. Done. We
So
can't.
are you
till
guys
next
getting
year.
that part turned around to where you can?
We have hired every professional
doing,
person
Jim.
within 100 miles to come in and straighten this out. That's how bad it was left. And that's a fact. If you took a blind man that couldn't talk or walk and gave him your checkbook and he just wrote checks out everywhere and didn't know where to come, checks come in and just threw them in a drawer, that's where we're at right now. We don't know. We're trying to fix it. We have the way that the town on is trying to fix what's there, and we can't. We have to wait for the state to tell us what we can and can't do on a consistent basis. Our clerk here is tearing it up, fixing everything as fast as she possibly can. Our hands are tied.
There's things down there at that corner, on that corner,
Okay,
that
we're gonna have
I'm
to
doing
move on.
myself.
And I understand and I appreciate that, and everyone does. So do I. We'll come back to that. We'll give you an opportunity at the end. Towards the end here. So let's move on. That was perf. Any questions about perf over here, Hunter? Nick? We'll try to do things besides perf that we can help offset. We got some things already in place, and we're willing to talk about other things that aren't perf because it's going to cost us twice as much for perf to come in than you're getting. So let's find a way that we can take that money and spend it wisely, and it goes to you and not cost us twice as much to get it to you. Is that understandable? Everyone okay? That's just where we're at, and we need to sit down at some point and talk about that and figure it out. Get the financial advisor back in here. We've done it once before, and kind of give you some options of where it can go, what we can do with it, because we can't afford to spend twice as much to give you what we'd like to.
I thought it had to be 100% participation to even do it. And Randy didn't want it.
Depends who you talk to. Depends. I've called and talked to. So we're moving on. PD vests. Eric.
It's delayed a month. It's supposed to have been in June 21st, and now the new date they gave me was July 15th. Still waiting.
Okay. Again, we want to protect you guys the best we can with what we can. That's our goal, because you protect us. So thank you.
It's just manufacturing these days is pretty slow.
Boy, this thing's riddled with problems. All right, clerk's office, back room, parking lot, full of water. Every time it rains, clerk's office floods. Audits take, I've not had the time or gumption. Jeff, you're gonna have to take it from me. I don't have time. We plan to, and spoke with the library, and they're good with it, move the clerk's office down here. No, you're not happy with that?
She don't want it,
Who doesn't want it?
the library, Courtney, not the lady.
Told us she was happy
She told us
about
she was
it.
happy with it. She even volunteered her office today. She did. So I don't need it. If she's not, that's fine. And we'll work with the library. We want to keep a library in Ridgeville. At the end of the day, this building's owned by the town of Ridgeville.
Yeah.
And so is the property. So we wanna work with them, we wanna keep everyone happy about everything we're gonna do.
They
But
were thinking on moving the clerk's office down here.
yes,
I think that would be a good idea.
we plan on taking the back corner section there, putting a window in, you can walk up, have access into a door
It'd be
to it.
less upkeep up there on that building up there. You gotta take care of.
Are they still gonna leave the museum part?
We're gonna move the museum, yes, over. We're not doing this to take away from Ridgeville
No,
or the
I
past of
understand. I
Ridgeville.
know you have problems
Um,
up there that you have to.
Yeah, we've got a bad situation, and I have failed personally to be on top of it, and I don't have the time. Could be a simple remodel, add in some walls, do some things, and get some things done, and that's kind of where we're at with it. I have not moved on it for 3 months now, but I have not had time. I've got plans in my office, yes, sir.
I think a quick project, a day project for someone would be re-slope the gutter to put the water on the front side of the property instead of the back side of the property.
Way beyond that.
I mean,
It
it's
comes
still,
so much flood.
I understand, but you're still diverting the water towards the front rather than the back.
The front's the problem. It floods the whole entire driveway, comes in the door to the PD from the back door, floods the whole entire thing. That thing stands to 6 inches of water on the concrete slab it's built on top of.
Any way of putting a drain manhole in that you see that's big around?
That'd be great, only it has to tie in the state. State says no.
Why are they saying
So here's
no?
another thing. So I just dump it on the sidewalk, right? What happens when winter comes? It falls, freezes. I have people walking across the
I know,
sidewalk
I've
in
seen
the water
it.
bill.
I've seen it.
So now I have a health and safety issue with everyone that walks on there who may not be able to walk. So what do I do with that? Salt it every night, every day?
What we gotta do, drag in people down here, let them see this, or?
They don't care. They do not care. I've called four people to the state of Indiana, and they said, you are not allowed to tie into our storm drain on our property. We've had, that's where that stands. So, all we can do is collect it all. We've talked about, looked at, trying to engineer where we can catch it, drain it to the road, but now I'm still draining across the sidewalk. What is it for a council member to put ice on the sidewalk for someone to come and break it in?
It would take somebody 2 days' time to dig that up and put that in and have it all done.
Where am I gonna put the water?
Like I was talking about, they won't let you put no drain.
No, they won't let us connect to the drain.
That's how long
It's
it would
illegal.
take a person to
State
do
has
that.
a lot
That's
of
great.
things they have to.
We've got it. We've got an outlet right where we need it. We just can't tie into it yet. That's what we're trying to do. So, Eric, you've looked at it. We've had other not engineers, other contractors look at it. And are like, you can't direct it to the road. There's no way to do this. You can't. You can berm it. You can do this. You can drill a wall. You can dike it. You can do whatever you want to do. I can't push it past the Cheeseman property because we don't own the Cheeseman property.
But the town's going to be owning that property.
There's no guarantee on that whatsoever. If that's the case, we could push water that way out to the highway and not be in front of the clerk's office.
I'm gonna
Right now,
talk
I
to
have
him
one
back
option,
here.
dump it in
I'm
the
gonna
clerk's
talk to him
office, and I can't do that.
When I see him,
Well,
I'm going to tell him he needs to get his brothers together and let that property go.
Well, I mean, we offered as through our attorney, if they agreed to do a purchase agreement with them, and they say get back to me, and I've called them, and they will not return my calls, and I have their cards. So that's where we're at with it. Not that we're not trying. I try every
I
darn
can't
day.
give you any answer anytime soon. I just got to wait till he shows up there and I'll go back
Well,
here. And
I'm telling you, if you
I'll
get an
get-
answer from him, but it has to go, we have to go through this man right here.
I know.
But I had with council and talked to Wes, just to give the fact that if it was coming for sale, the town was interested, and we would offer to buy the property and take control of it. It would solve a couple of our problems. One, the fact that leave it looking like that, and second, we move some water around. I mean, if I can't dump it into the state's drain, maybe I can just dump it on the state highway. Not that that's even better. You come through there and I don't want to crash either, but it was something with it. It's been looked into heavily. We're gonna move on. Digital sign update. Have to have permit. Randy O has called in for this. Anyone?
Has Randy called?
Yes, called AEP. I know they went out and talked about it. I don't know exactly what the status on it is yet.
Yeah,
I think they're coming in next week to do it. I think.
They're tying in the pole.
So what?
They're tying in the pole.
Yeah.
There's a permit. So you filed for that? We're moving forward with it.
I believe it's fine.
What happened to the company doing this for us? Where are they at?
They done their part.
Oh, best is on.
Theirs wasn't to hook it up. Theirs was to plant it.
Okay.
But we also found out there's not an access into the board like they said there was. So Randy did take the very top of it completely off to be able to get down there to put the wire box and all that in there, so.
So we're ahead of it, we're waiting on it.
Yeah, we're just waiting on the AP.
Okay. Alright, road cuts and concrete.
We need to vote on that.
You guys
I thought we
concrete
did.
No.
last year, didn't actually vote, I went back and.
Okay.
We did.
So we talked to everybody last time we discussed this. When we cut roads, we cut into it, we're gonna put back gravel and then hot mix or whatever we got, cold mix, whatever the darn mix we're doing. I thought in the last meeting or maybe the meeting before, we discussed with everyone in the public, we better see concrete in those holes that lasts longer and holds longer. I know it's gonna break down coming up to it, that's just part of it, but the patch itself is a little longer. We need to vote on it. I'm just gonna take a minute, it's gonna be brief. What does everybody think about the road patches? Would you rather see concrete or gravel or what?
I would rather see the concrete, cause that's what I was thinking on doing down there on my end of town. There was
Yeah.
holes down there and I was just gonna go take my truck and get 10 or 15 bags of concrete mix and I was gonna barricade the road off and I was gonna dig in
That's what
holes
we're
up,
looking
fill
at
it
doing.
in.
And we're looking at
Concrete.
fixing, anyway. It's gonna cost us more, but it's gonna last longer. Anybody else have anything to say? We talked about this once before.
Well, I don't think the kind of patching that they've done holds for a very long time. It's kind of a waste of
Okay.
what.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna vote on this right now. Yes, ma'am.
If you put concrete in, it freezes and thaws, unless you go down deep enough, it's gonna raise, am I right?
So you don't think we'll go deep enough in the beginning?
Then we go to plow, if we have snow. The plow hits the concrete.
So that's different from the plow rooting up the gravel and hitting the road?
Well,
Affects the plow
I
differently?
understand that, but I'm just saying, Muncie puts concrete in.
Yeah.
But
A
I'm
lot
just
of them
saying,
leave
if
it
we
low
don't go
for
deep
that.
enough, will it not raise? If we don't get below the freeze line, am I right about that?
What's the freeze line?
Most of your highways and stuff like that are at most usually a foot thick on concrete anyway, and that's it.
I don't think that'll matter because it all rises together.
But they,
Well, yeah, you're right, it does, even though it's.
Here's the
the-
thing,
the-
a patch is a patch, sorry Eric, it doesn't matter what you put in there, it's not
I'm
right,
just,
it's not gonna.
I don't care what we put in there,
So,
frankly, but I'm just saying.
if you go concrete, yes, it may raise. If you don't go concrete and you put gravel and it gets plowed out, and the next time you come through, what do you hit? Blacktop? Same damage to the plow, same thing. But the patch is still there. So, I mean, I guess we're the ones deciding because we're the only ones here. I mean, what would you like to see? And this is an opportunity, we can do it a different way.
It don't matter.
Let them say, all raise your hand, or anyone comment, or we're getting ready to vote on concrete, so.
Well, who was you gonna get to put that concrete in?
We're gonna do it ourselves, I
Okay.
believe,
That's
we're
what I
gonna
was-
block off the road, set it up, we're gonna try to do it where we can do a pour and another pour and only have to block off sections, we're gonna get it prepped and ready, that kind of thing.
There's only one that we can only do on a section because it goes into the trailer court. We can
Because-
only do one side at a time.
There is small contractors that do blacktopping, and they can come in with the smaller rollers.
You remember our
So that's
situation
what I
with
was,
no budget?
yeah,
No
that's
money?
what I was seeing was gonna cost in concrete, and if it's gonna cost the same amount of money in concrete, even though we're doing
Are you
it
good at
ourselves.
concrete?
I know.
I keep volunteering
I'll
to
spend a
do the
Saturday
road.
with you if you wanna pour concrete, I can do concrete.
You know, and they could come in and just do them little areas and roll that, and it'll make it pack her down good and tight.
You think a patch is gonna work with, you talking concrete or you talking hot mix?
Blacktop? They'd have to dig the ground up probably about that much, and then fill it in.
Have you been around driving? I'm sure you drive lately. When's the last time you didn't have a blacktop patch stuck to your tire?
Yeah.
That's what we deal with. We get second, third rate. I mean, we might as well do it ourselves, save our money, do what we can,
But that's
service
where I was
people of
seeing where
Ridgeville.
that budget was.
I tell you,
And like I said, the concrete would probably be.
budget's about down here somewhere, so we're trying to do what we can with what we got. And I think it's better money spent doing a concrete patch, getting time out of it. It's not like our people, we have a minimal sized town. The people that plow go around, they see it, they know.
Oh,
They
yeah,
get it
I
once,
know
they should know
where
it.
they're at, yeah.
You know what I mean? You're gonna know where the problems are.
Yeah, I've been around
Because the
that.
guys that poured it are the guys gonna plow it.
Yeah, up there by
Yeah.
Thirst
So-
House, they got them meters.
So I mean, if you
sticking
need
up
to
that, I
put
know
flags
exactly
and
how that
signs
bring
up
that
and
window.
flashing lights, fine. Don't hit that, but that's what we gotta do. We gotta make it. I would like to go better with what we're doing than we're doing now,
County,
because I think everyone deserves it. But I mean,
county does blacktop.
it's we can do our old way, which is dump it in, drag with the backhoe, and drive over it 17 times and call it good.
Concrete on it.
So that's where we're at. We don't have
And
a
it lasts us for about 3 months.
at best. First freezing thaw's gone. It's pulled out. It's ripped.
That's
so.
the reason why when you mentioned the concrete,
I'm
I was
gonna-
for that.
Jeff, you wanna? I'll make a motion that we have our repairs done with concrete. Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
What we
We
ran
can
in-
change this decision if everyone doesn't like it.
What we ran into the other day is they were patching holes, all three of them.
Yeah.
Tim comes to my house in a county truck. Said it's done patching holes and they had some left over, wanted to know if they wanted to fill one of them on 7th or else take that back on Portland Street or the other streets. And I said, if you've already got the holes filled, yes, go ahead and use it. I knew we hadn't voted on this yet. He didn't do that, and there's still a lot of holes that's still empty. So after you guys left my house, did you,
We went to, yes, we went to, I know, 2 or 3 cuts, and they just were not ready yet. They were not.
so
the gravel
in
was
other
not
words,
set.
they took the mix back to Winchester?
I'm not entirely sure what Tim did with it. You have to ask him.
Because there's still a bunch of holes.
They're all over.
If I might suggest, 2 things. If there ever is a future project of paving and stuff, if you have concrete, they're gonna mill anyway.
Right.
So that makes it nice for the reapplication. The other thing is the entrance to the trailer park. Might see if we can borrow a road plate from Cooley Construction. And that way we can do concrete all one time,
Okay.
throw down the road plate.
Good idea.
Drive over it, and then less labor, less messing with it.
Appreciate it, Eric. Okay, that's the decision. It's been voted on. It's passed. Water Department exercise shut-offs.
That's a Randy question, and he's just gonna come up with some kind of scheduling to do it over the next 3 months or whatever, because he spread it out over time.
Fair enough. Randy's not here. He's got family obligations. 512 Kingster Champion Drains coming tomorrow to locate. That's you, right?
No.
That was a Japanese guy.
Yeah. Randy said they couldn't find us there. He called and talked to Jason Allen today, and they're gonna come tomorrow.
What day is Jason coming?
Tomorrow.
Do you know what time?
Call him. You got his number.
I'll give it to Jason. Because I want those 3 scopes while they're up ways up there.
Find out where they're at. Good idea. You gonna run a camera down it, follow it, trace it. That's soon. We're gonna have to do. Locate around it. All right, old business. Start at the end down there. Kevin?
No.
Hunter? Nick? Old business?
Old? No. Got nothing. No. That's from me.
Brief vote, open it up. Any discussion or questions about what we've already covered on our original old business? Everybody's good? You get something to add?
I got some stuff to add.
All right.
We've been talking about putting a gate down to wastewater to keep people from taking brush back there. When Randy gets back, take note to have him go check with Applegates, check with Tractor Supply, check with somebody. Sometimes some of them places got seconds. If we can get a gate, then we'll get some 6x6s and we'll bury them in the ground and we'll put a gate across there.
We're talking at the road or right?
We're
next to
talking
the brush
at the
pile?
actual turn down the hill
Okay.
to,
Okay.
yeah. And then somehow or another, we'll start either getting that cable taunt, or we're gonna try to, from the neighbor guy down here, take some.
Didn't there used to be a cable that went all the way around?
Yes.
It doesn't stop
But
anymore.
You know?
it's, a lot of the posts are broken.
Okay, I know that's been up there for many, many years.
So that, get with Randy on that when he gets back.
Because last week I seen a truck coming in town from the quarry, from off the highway that came in there with a big load of brush on a trailer. I mean, wow. And I was saying, oh, they're coming from out of town. Because I followed them all the way from out to the cemetery.
Yeah.
I got with Eric, we talked about getting a portable kennel for the Ford, instead of having Donnie put a whole, working and trying to get that puzzle put together, just get a large portable and see if we can't do it that way, and then,
We've got one.
Cause-
It sits in this on stock, you know, this kind of, well, either way, if you're using it, we'll come up with something.
so, and
They're
then,
like $60 a Oh, okay.
last month I talked about changing the property, the railroad property into the park. All we have to do is come up and write a resolution on that, we'll switch that over, and hopefully try to keep people from driving through there. Gives us something a little more to fight against, I guess.
So, what's that take, Wes?
A resolution.
Just a resolution from the town?
Town, it's already town.
It's town property,
Yeah.
part of our wellhead protection, actually. So,
I can work on something for you.
yeah, get us something lined up for that, and we'll just pass that, and then you can't drive through a park.
Okay.
Thank you, sure.
And Tony, did you ever get any more information on direct deposit, or the bank still screwing over on that?
We are still waiting. They finally got that scanner, but I have to call and get the second part of the training set up. It's about there. We're getting close.
That's all I got.
Good job. I have absolutely nothing. Wes?
Nope.
Perfect. Move on to new business.
Can I say one thing?
Yes,
about
ma'am, absolutely.
we talked last month about the Second Harvest Mobile Market, and we are the newest site, so it will be the third Saturday of the month, every month from 10 to 12, out here in the parking lot. And Tony will advertise that. So I just want to say Tom and Jeff went to the meeting with me when we met with their coordinators, and we got everything signed, and we're on their schedule, so we hope
It's gonna be a good thing for Ridgeville.
yeah, we hope it will be a good thing.
There's something for everybody,
Yeah.
so come up, take advantage of
It'll
it.
be more controlled, because we sat there and watched Farber take 2 full carton cases of water the other day from the other one, didn't leave anything for anybody.
Oh.
So,
Yeah, this
at least
is,
this one's more controlled.
It is controlled, yeah, it is
The-
controlled, yeah.
The only thing you do run into sometimes with some of them, I don't see it being a problem, but unless they start trashing things, I've seen where some of those is like the night before camp.
well, no, you have to be a Ridgeville resident. You're allowed one shot at that, and then you get approved residency.
I got you.
Yeah, they,
So they're not gonna turn anyone away.
I'm just gonna
That's
say,
needy.
we'll.
So they can camp out and you can kick them around. No one's turned away a second time. They identify it, they write it down, and then you.
My whole thing is I don't really have a problem with that, if that does happen. But my thing is also we just maybe need to make sure that they don't like put stuff out on the ground or something like that.
No,
It'll become an
it is
issue.
top rate professional. They bring in what I looked at, they'll probably bring here, it was either semi or an 18-foot trailer. The refrigerator's in it, fully stocked, both sides open, capable of being used. They're gonna park it over here against the back. They have enough room to get through on both sides. You go through with a representative or a volunteer to what you're qualified for. First time around, everyone gets it. Second time, you sign off your own waiver saying what you're qualified for. You're allowed to take your 2 items here, 1 item there, 3 this, that, 4 or 5, whatever it takes. You're allowed to have it, and then you move on.
Based on household size.
This is
Like
like a
household
mobile
size.
food pantry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mobile food pantry is what it is. including
got-
fresh produce and or not frozen, it was,
Cold
well, they have cold
Cold
stuff,
stuff.
freezer items, so there is meat, and depending upon what they get in for their people donate to them,
Yeah,
if they have steak, they have shrimp, and everyone's qualified for all that kind of thing, so you come in first time through, learn it, second time through, you have to sign off kind of what you, where you believe you're at, kind of deal.
It
but no
won't
one's
be like
sure
the other one, if there's 8 gallons of milk, if there's, somebody's not gonna walk off with 8 gallons of
Yeah,
milk.
so what you're allowed is,
What you're allowed.
they'll look at you and say, okay, you can have a half gallon or full gallon, or you can have 2 half gallons, or 16 little cartons, if that's what you have for your kids kind of thing. And same with the produce, you're allowed so much per person, per going through. I don't have the flyers with me, we should probably, it's really a good thing, and it's very well controlled, and
And I understood if there is any abuses, they know and they kind
they
of watch.
notify immediately.
They kind of watch them, yeah.
It'll
watch
be,
'em.
it'll be the same 2 to 4 people are always taking care of this. And whatever volunteers we can provide for them, we're gonna try to the best we can. And, they'll be notified and they'll be told, you know, here's what you can have. Take your pick, go through it and do it. So it's not gonna be abused. And, it's a great thing, because there's a lot there for people. I mean, basically, you walk out of there probably with, depending on the size of your household, probably a week's worth of groceries, once a month,
10 to noon.
fresh,
10 to noon.
10 to noon.
2 hours. You know, park over here on the side, you drive in, park, do what you gotta do, and we'll have barricades set up, cones set up, come in, walk through it, go back to your vehicle, and just pull out and go on your way.
It sounds like Betsy's been doing some work.
Betsy, the
Yes.
busy homemaker, has been behind it, and we
Yeah.
thank you very much, and bless you
Thank
for it.
you
I mean,
guys
you
for
guys done a
coming.
great job.
And helping us get it set up, yeah, I think it'll be good, yeah.
It will. It's something we haven't had, and it's there for us to take advantage of, so we will.
I've got one thing on the old business.
Yes, sir.
How far are you gonna extend this park over there?
How
We own the
far?
whole railroad.
Yeah.
Right, but the fire department uses right across from it when we cut up cars for extrication.
Yeah.
So is that
And?
gonna be a problem?
Fire department's owned by the town of Ridgeville, you realize that, right? We own all the equipment, the building, everything. No, it's not gonna be a problem. We're not gonna stop our first responders and fire departments from doing things they need to do for training wise. Never.
Well,
Yeah, no, not like we're building, we're not putting playground in front of it.
when we cut up cars, there's windows that get broke, and obviously we
Yeah,
can't.
but we
pick up
expect it
every
to be
piece of
cleaned up.
glass.
I mean, it's always been, I was a fireman for 20 years for Ridgeville. I get it, I've been there, done it. So what I'm saying is, you guys do it right here on the approach, which is fine. We're trying to keep people from parking and doing all the kind of stuff they do and driving up and down it. If we make it a park, then this guy here can enforce some situations with it. For people doing the wrong doing. Right now, it's just owned by, it's in a well-held protection, that's it, it's owned by Ridgeville. That's all we got. Moving forward, we'll have, I mean, the fire department never does anything that's not connected with the town and tells the town about it anyways. You know what I mean? So it's not gonna be a situation or a problem. And that's not where it's gonna be, right there. You guys use the first 30 feet of it. We land helicopters there. I've been passed many times. That's not a situation. We go out there and do pump and rolls. Train people how to do it. Not a problem. We're not gonna put anything up there. This is private property, Ridgeville, that's all it is. Yeah, no, there's gonna be no situation with the fire department. Any other old business? All right, new business. Trash contract renews in August.
That's basically just updating you. I think Arlinda was working on that. And, I think instead of doing like a yearly thing, we're gonna renew it for 3.
That's not locking in. They've always treated us good. We've never had situations with them. They're doing very well. Are they really raising it up this time?
Well, we have to advertise this because it's over 50 grand that they, and they'll probably raise it. It's 41 something a month, and we're shy what we take in now. So Niles said, wanted to know if we'd go 3 years, and I said, well, yeah, we would. But one thing I had checked on is they give us the free cleanup, and they pick up a large item the first Wednesday of every month. And he never got back with me. You know, whether we want to write that in the contract.
Well, if we can, we will. I mean, trying to take care of that the best we can get from it. I have full confidence in her.
So we have to advertise it. 'Cause
That's
it's over
fine.
50 grand.
And then we'll have to bring it to the next meeting and then we
Yeah.
can vote on it. But yeah, the longer you lock the contract in, typically the better off we are. And like I said, they've never treated us wrong. They've taken care of us
They
the
do a
entire
great
time.
job, yeah.
I mean, they have ties to Winchester and the community areas, so they've always been good to us. Can't beat it, to be honest. Next item up for bid, 417 Pierce Street, pond. Who hasn't seen the pond in Pierce Street?
Yeah, what do they do? A swimming pool or a pond or?
That's a pond.
It's a big boat.
Yeah, it's a big one.
20 feet deep.
I do not.
So I called
I saw it
Aaron.
today.
If they didn't line it, it's not gonna hold water.
Which are they filling up now?
It's gonna stay. Morton's never
That's
stayed.
all we filled out.
Clay.
By who?
Michelle's mom.
The town.
For what? For a
To get
complaint?
it, yes, cause
That's the craziest thing I ever heard of, with it. We have.
Now, Wes, have you ever had a town dug next to the road on the right away of everything? When you leave here, go down the next street and turn down Pierce Street, you'll see a great big,
Mounds
just
or-
dug a pond.
The yard is, like, it's right up by
Could be
the
a
road,
cold
and
pond.
when I called yesterday, they said that it has to be 50 feet.
From the center of the road or from the right of way?
From the right of way.
Sure, I don't know, I haven't read the zoning
That'd be
ordinance
two
on it,
neighbors
but-
down.
Are you allowed to have a pond in town?
Well,
I've never,
probably not, I'm
No,
guessing,
that's-
because you have to comply with all the setback, I mean, it's controlled by area planning, so you're under area planning in the countywide zoning ordinance, and I'm sure, I haven't read it, but I'm sure Randolph County has a zoning ordinance and requirements for a pond.
It's right, right up to
And they've
that
gotta be
road
set back
goes
50
this
feet
way
from the,
right there.
according to Tony, 50 feet from the right of way. I'm sure every community that allows a pond, and so I suppose, is it theoretically possible, could you have one in town? Maybe, but I'm guessing there's probably nowhere in town, no lot big enough
Yeah, that
to
property wouldn't be
have
big
a.
enough, yeah.
Well, she also said that you have to obtain a permit for a drainage board at commissioners meeting,
Yeah.
Oh,
and
gosh.
a surveyor, and
Right,
like,
can't just go dig a hole in your backyard
Yeah.
and call it a pond.
When I first heard of it, I thought they were talking koi pond.
Yeah, right,
You know,
yeah.
like
told
fish
her.
eat a
Yeah.
little bit, you know. No, I
A
went
little
down there
fountain or
and
something.
So,
they're gonna have to
called
have a fence and everything else.
I called a
Tell
commissioner
Harvey
today.
can't have a pond.
I called a commissioner today and I asked him,
It's not very big.
I said, have you heard of this and this is legal? And if I could say even I'm being taped, he said, are you shitting me? I said, no, not at all, not at all.
he doesn't even own the property.
Oh, no.
It's, so Gary Thornburg is renting the property at 417 North Pierce Street, owned by Dave Alcout, who's gonna be served papers on this pond, and he's on vacation right now for the last 2 weeks. So, I don't know if he knows he has a pond, to be honest with you, but this is outside of my, I mean, I'm not area planning. We subscribe to them, they
Right.
take care of us, we follow their rules, we do what they say. That's the law. So it's not that Tom Friend or Jeff Doss don't want a pond there, it's the fact that says that legally you cannot have a pond there.
Not that
But
big.
they're telling us we have.
Gary Thornburg, go drive down and take a look at
Just
it.
make a motion to fill out the complaint form.
I make a motion with complaint form and send it in, do I have a second? All in favor? Aye. If this is the case, Camden Street's gonna have a water park, campground, and a field golf course.
So can I ask what they want you to do, what is that?
We have to file an official complaint with the county
I get-
for
okay.
then the board to come in
Okay.
and review the fact that it's been there, it's under construction right now. Basically, every single rule you have to follow has not been touched.
Well, I know.
That's first for me, I've never heard of that.
Well, there you go.
If I'd have known you could have done this, I'd have done it when I lived there, because I rented the place after my
Yeah,
divorce.
yeah.
So,
I chose not to look at it. My wife come home and I said, I don't even hear it.
my yard mow.
Go ahead, Eric. Eric's got the floor.
Well, I say, if I could suggest something, Kevin and I both have put in ponds before, and the angles, as close as he has it to Sherman Street, as
Yeah.
close as he has it to his own
We're gonna wash the road
garage,
out eventually.
and as steep as he's dug it, like a grave,
Yeah.
almost,
It's gonna collapse.
he's gonna lose all that, and it's gonna get closer to Sherman Street. He's gonna
Yeah.
get,
It's gonna wash the
it's
road.
gonna undermine, eventually, one of these years will undermine the foundation to that
Yeah.
garage.
This is a problem we honestly can't solve. We have to turn to the county. It's in their jurisdiction. They have to take care of it, and we have to enforce whatever they say to do. I have an acre and a quarter pond, but mine's back on my county property. I own 2 tracts there, so it's back on my 7 acres. It's beyond the scope
I
of
want to
Ridgeville.
see the little sailboat in it.
I honestly don't know what's gonna happen with it, but I mean, that's what we got for that.
Has anybody talked to him?
Do you know him?
No, Gary. Gary's gone.
Do you know him?
Yeah, I know him.
Then you talk to
I
him.
go down there and see him and tell him, son, you can't do this.
By all means do.
I will. He's on, believe me, I will.
He's there right now filling it up.
Daryl first.
He's right there, he's tanking in water.
I'm not going down and talking about
About
it.
half the cookie.
I ain't dealing with Carol Hey, we follow the rules. Okay, order the meeting. Next, hey. Sorry, clerk's talking. I'll be on order her.
Randy said he moved, that guy moved something. Some
Storm
lines or
drain.
something.
He did the storm drain
Yeah,
up
he's
a few
moving,
inches.
yeah.
Oh.
He's moving
Is it elevation?
Yeah.
He what?
He put bricks under, from what Randy was saying, he put bricks under it a while ago and moved it up. Like, up in elevation.
Our drain?
Or storm drain, yeah.
Can't do that either.
That either.
I'm telling you, can't do that either.
He just really told me, he's going to
That storm drain was put in, I've been where I'm at for 10 years, so probably 11 to 12 years ago, has a whole brand new storm drain put in there.
So, let's just let the county get involved first.
Yeah.
We'll deal with the outcome. I seen him throwing bricks in there today when I come through at 3:30, 3:45, and I seen the text from the town. I seen Tony, and I didn't have any. It's nothing this council can do but sit back and file the right paperwork and let it go. But I would not suggest it because I assume at some point our attorney's going to get involved in a legal situation with it. I can almost, there's no way that doesn't happen. I'm not, I don't know. I'm just saying you can't move town right away. Rerun our drain. So we're going to move forward. And like I'm telling you, this goes through. There'll be a water park, golf course, and campground.
She just said he's gonna wonder why all the traffic's coming down there and everybody's gonna.
And I want my road replaced before I do it.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna move on. We
I
gotta
want to see
keep
that budget
moving.
kind of come up for that project.
Yeah, so now we're at hometown heroes flags. AP said they are not supposed to hang on the light poles. Are you kidding me? Every town in America does
Yeah,
that.
they have them everywhere.
Chris Wright called and wanted to know, if it was okay that they go ahead and do that. This isn't happening until next year, but they don't know what else to do with them.
So, who says we can't? AEP?
AEP told them that they are not supposed to be hanging on the electric poles.
What's the penalty for it?
Do it every day.
Can you forward that information to me, please?
Yes,
I got some
We
connections.
got flags.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, they used to gripe at Red Key all the time because they've got street signs tacked up to their electric poles.
What they ever do about it?
Nothing that I know of.
We're
I
gonna
mean,
continue with it. We're gonna honor our heroes and members of the military no matter what.
I mean, I suppose they could come and take them down. I mean, that technically they belong to them, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they've ever.
Saratoga puts them on their poles.
Every time go through Gas City, every single pole has 3 of their people or 4 posted to it that are retired, dead, done.
Union City does it.
Winchester, they all.
Portland does it.
We're gonna
Lynn does it. Fountain City does
hold
it.
on, she got the
We
floor.
hang our Christmas lights and then they send us a bill.
For electricity.
Yes.
That's fine.
Yes.
We're gonna continue with what we do. I will make a few phone calls. I have some connections to AT. Until they really, with a warning that makes West say, don't do it no more.
Yeah.
We're gonna continue with what we do. That's just how we're gonna roll that one. So that one's off.
Somebody call him and tell him?
I'll call him and tell him.
Yeah.
Who's this guy?
Chris Wright?
Is he from AP?
No, he's Legion.
Oh, I don't care about him. I want to talk to EP people says we can't do it.
Oh, nobody's called me from AEP.
Well, he
He's
just says he can't do it.
He's
Legion probably can't, but the town can. Their flagpoles are on right away. Well, state right away, yes. No, I ain't worried about this.
This is the guy calling. Chris called, wanting to make sure that Legion can still, like, you guys are okay with them hanging these.
Oh, we're good with
flags.
that. Yeah, continue.
Okay, so do you want me to call him, or are you gonna call Chris and say, yes, go ahead and do it?
Can I do that?
I call AEP first.
I'll just take care of this. I'll do that.
It's in your box up there at the office that you don't have a grab. I get Kathy
Did
Norton.
you sort through them? Did you open them and look at them? Do I need to actually look at them?
They've got
You
your
have
name
that
on it.
right.
They've got your name on it. That one says council.
I've already had one, so.
Area Planning Commission, they're gonna like to hear from us. Come take a look at our pond. All right, moving forward. Cooley's supposed to come this week to repair a hole in highway, car tech, yep.
Brady just wanted me to use that.
They'll be here, take care of it, we're good with that. That's the main breakup around the highway. Part of our deal with them, contract with them to fix that, they're gonna take care of it.
So, I heard, I don't know.
All right, perfect. That's the end of old business.
Can we schedule one of the other concretes while they're doing that concrete at the
What's
same
that?
day? Can we schedule one of the other concretes for the same day, the same truck?
Is a private citizen?
No, as the town of Ridgeville.
We try, no, that's already in our contract with them to come and fix the main. Part of that is fix the road, take it back to where it's state
State, right.
standards, right? So, no, that's not part of, we can't throw that in. That's a whole, I mean, you know how it works. Sign a contract, you come fix it. They've not had time to get back in here to do the concrete work.
I just thought if they got 3 yards in the truck
It's a
for that,
great
let's
thought.
add a
It's
couple
a
more
great
yards for one of the
thought,
others.
but that's not how it works.
We got
So
that
what we'll
done.
do is we'll see. Well, kind of at the mercy, we couldn't do it ourselves.
Yeah, and I just need one of you to sign and give them the
Sign it. You sign it. You go to jail with
You know how many things I signed this week up there?
Yeah.
Pal.
I don't want to be alone. All right. Now to new business. This is going to take a minute. Let's get this rolling. Kevin.
No,
Kevin. Hunter. Nick.
Now I got a couple here as well.
All right.
First thing I wanted to kind of hit upon is, part of old business but new, the Cheeseman property issue. I wanted to kind of help push things along, meaning that, I think we are being successful in what we did there. Being that we're approaching the halfway point here on summer, so that we don't run into the same situation with winter. If you guys were wanting to entertain another property, I was going to suggest that you do that. If we want to, I was hoping we get the Cheeseman thing all wrapped up and done, and then we can move on to the next project. But it's dragging out a lot longer than anyone expected. It would be up to you guys to kind of pick kind of what you want to tangle with. I know we've got another eyesore now on South Walnut Street that needs some attention, more so than the one that we were looking at the end of the road with across from the ball diamond. But the old bar is quite the eyesore now. But just throwing up suggestions, that's all I wanted to kind of just get that out there to.
Has that been transferred ownership yet? Because I don't think I've seen it on the GI.
On the GIS now, what I've been told is the GIS really only truly updates once a year.
Okay.
So just a phone call to the auditor's office and they will look into what it is the here and now on ownership. In Ridgeville, I've noticed on several occasions, and I imagine this may happen in Portland quite a bit too. I don't know this, but for some reason, guys in this town will sell a property to another guy and they don't bother following up on any of the deeds work or nothing. It's just that they exchanged money, yours now, have a good day. And, look forward into possibly running into that situation on that property.
We had that problem with Eli and,
Exactly.
yeah.
So, are you willing to take that on and make the
Well,
calls?
my thing is in this sort of situation, I'm the sword, you guys wield it. So when it comes to that, so you guys have to pick what you want to tear into
Let's start there.
and say,
brought it up,
hey,
let's start
pull
there.
the trigger on it. Okay. I mean, that's.
I mean, that was one of the biggest things, was getting a downtown area cleaned
Wow.
up, and we're getting there.
And now the old IGA is
With
cleaning
Venus
up.
putting windows in, and you'll get the other side.
I'd like to thank Josh Venus publicly for the work he's put
So
in.
if you guys are
Talking
wanting me to
today.
go ahead and start that same process,
Yep,
again,
let's,
I'm happy to do that.
everyone's subject to what our values are, and we gotta hold to that, so it doesn't matter who you are and how much you hate me at the end of the day, because that's what I typically get. Let's move forward with it.
Because without you guys kind of pulling the trigger on
No.
that, I'm getting you into something.
But you're speaking
that
on
you
behalf
may
of the
not
board
want.
with this, you're,
Okay.
you're the marshal of the town of Ridgeville, and you have, I don't have to do any motion.
Well, it's like I said,
I agree with you moving forward.
Basically, I kick it off, and then after that, I pull it
Fine,
off.
you kick it off, you get it done, you do the research, that's
Okay.
what we pay him for. He'll come behind us and he'll clean up our
I'll
mess.
get with,
Yeah.
I'll feed you
Just
what I
Let's
got. and
let's
we'll-
pick that one and move on, because it is dead center in town of Ridgeville, so get cleaned up. Enough pressure, maybe he'll sell it to another guy.
Well, I just didn't wanna run into winter and say, okay, now we're gonna wait all winter because.
There's been plenty of opportunity to clean up what little bit's there.
Okay.
I mean, you got a dump trailer. They could've called you to clean it up, right? I got a Bobcat.
Can I use
We'll
your
partner
skid loader?
up.
There we go.
We'll partner up. All right, yeah, move forward with it, please. What
Okay.
else you got? Cause you're not done, I can tell that.
First thing I'm gonna say is I'm not a fortune teller, but I'm seeing something out there, a trend, and so is the sheriff, and so is the Indiana State Police and everyone else. There are huge problems with Dodge Durangos, the pursuit model. I'm just gonna read a title off of this article. Indiana police will liquidate busted Dodge Durangos. Says that Stellantis won't help. Stellantis is kind of like a purchaser for, where everyone goes to get this kind of stuff, especially your large contracts, state police, so on and so forth. State straighten in. Police chief furious over unreliable Dodge Durangos. He's selling at a significant loss. This is the Maryville police chief. Maryville's a pretty good sized
Big town.
department. So basically, they're having to trade these things in. Randolph County's doing the same thing. As soon as possible, just because they're available, they're switching to Chevrolet Tahoes and stuff like that. Now, I'm not one to do that, but because of how strapped we are for finances. But your opinion, I'm thinking our maintenance costs on that Durango are rising. Right now, we just replaced all the coil packs, I believe is what happened, right? And we've already got another one bad, which may be a manufacturer problem, but Donnie's gonna look into that and
Dealt with that myself.
and get that fixed. So, we do have an option if we go down that same road. We've already had part of the electrical problems that they've encountered, multiples. We're starting to soak a lot of money into this thing. Union City has a 2018 Charger that's got 55,000 miles on it. So, roughly 50. All outfitted. The only thing it doesn't have is some items like it doesn't have a radar in it, radio, stuff like that we can put in it. They've offered it to us for $8,500. With that said, like I say, it's basically he can jump in and run. It's ready. Lights are everything are coming with it.
What's its history on it? What's the maintenance record on it?
On that, Doc?
It was an admin vehicle for when my dad was over there. So, actual patrol use, about 3 months. And then their officer that got a dog left went to Richmond, so it's been sitting. And they bought brand new Durangos, and they're regretting buying the Durangos now. So, they're trying to sell vehicles so they can get Tahoes for their guys.
So, I did some internet research quickly. Used Chargers for that year and approximate miles. You're looking at we're in the average of $12,000 for that. So it's a really good deal. And that's without lights or anything. They are pursuit Chargers. But the good news is I've got another department that really wants the Durango. They flat today offered $13,500 for it. And he's even got permission from his council to pursue that. Those Durangos, the problem I'm seeing is we bought that Durango back under a different council that, from John Jones, I believe is where that come from. Don't quote me.
Good enough, not quoting on that.
But anyhow, John Jones dealership is the one that sells tons and tons of police vehicles, specifically Durangos. Nick contacted them, and the writing's on the wall, and this is my whole point getting at this. So they're like, well, yeah, sure, we'll buy that back, no problem. We'll give you $10,000 for it. So you're starting to see right now that the dealerships are backing off. These things are basically got the resale value of volleyball, and it's about to get worse as soon as the state police and everybody starts pursuing that.
To interrupt you, what year is our Durango?
20.
Is that the
And you're
one that's
looking to
down in
move to
Donnie?
2018.
What's the one that's been down?
No, that's Ford Explorer.
That's been there for.
So,
My reserves, when they're coming into town, they jump in it there, and they've been driving it.
from a business standpoint, can you get a written commitment from them for the 13.5 on what we got?
He could probably get him over here tomorrow with a check.
Because as a business standpoint, I don't have a problem downgrading years for better equipment. I know it's a shock to people, like, well, you take it, but it's about the equipment and what you got. And not necessarily value, but what it can provide for us. So I don't necessarily have a problem with that, especially on the end, if we're trading, if they're gonna commit to 13.5, and we're gonna pay $8,500 for something that's ready to go, that we're gonna have less problems with. When it comes to vehicles, your manufacturing has a lot to do with it. When it comes to problems or anything else involved with
The
it.
thing that worries me is we're replacing Dodge and Dodge, but.
Well, it's just like Chevy, Ford, everything else. You got 2018 or 2019 or 20, you know, I mean, there's situations in the manufacturing process that can create those problems. Some have them, some don't. That's why you do your research on them. Personally, I've done it myself, traded down for better equipment for longevity purposes. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with that because it's not going to cost the town.
We're gonna probably have, it will not have a radar in it, and the radar system that's in that Dodge is basically Portland's leftovers that they're, if you watch Nick going down the street, you'll see what looks to appear to be a Folgers coffee can in there that's this big, and it actually creates blind spots for him in there so big. So, just like I put in my new car, I bought one that an old department had sold online for around $600, and that's what I put in my car. It's awesome radar.
So,
so
now
they're usually about $2,000.
So, let's say that they come with a commitment. Oh, it's a commitment, signed over, basic contract. And we still get our car available. Do we have the funds to make that switch? Waiting on a 13.5 to come in, it could take 45 days before they actually get us paid. That's the fact. That's how it works.
You have around 100 and
what fund could we pull from for 8,500? I'm asking. Do you have any ideas?
well, out of your safety budget, you got like $100,000, $400,000 in there. So could we take it out of there and replace that?
Has it been, is it available? You would have to do an additional appropriation. The only thing I would,
Oh, yes.
I mean, if it's available, yeah. If it's not something, you'd have to do an additional appropriation for. I mean, just because it's in your fund balance.
Circle.
Yeah.
Like I say, I'm not a fortune teller. I mean, this Durango could be good. I mean,
Yeah, we come out with
but
3,500
The writing's
head
on the wall,
for it.
And sure as
Obviously,
well,
we
we
can
get
do it.
a different charger and we'll end up having
What's your
a problem
thoughts
with
on the whole
that.
thing?
Oh, I agree with Eric. I've heard nothing but problems about the Durangos. I know
We
the
work
state.
for many communities.
state police is regretting their decision of going to them. They're nothing but trouble. The Jay County Sheriff has switched to trucks. The last 3 he bought, he switched to
Sorry,
I don't know if they're Dodge trucks or Ford trucks, but they went to trucks because you can't. It's either Tahoes or Durangos are about the only police vehicles out there because they quit making. Is it right? They quit making the Chargers.
Yeah.
So
We'll
you
bring them back next year.
Okay, so you can't right now. You can't get a Charger, and so the only options out there are the Tahoe, the Durango, and then they're buying trucks. And nobody wants the Durangos.
I've seen that everywhere.
So,
One thing I forgot to mention is I've got a printout here where I looked up the 2018 Chargers. Because of the Durango problem, like he's stating, the resale value of the Chargers is going way up. The Charger without lights or anything in it, and this one has a kennel in it already for the dog. They're going for like $12,000.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal because Portland just a couple of years ago, because of that, they didn't want the Tahoes, and they were trying to upgrade their fleet, and they went clear up to like around Gary or something to buy a couple of used ones, and I think it was 17, 18 grand for a similar aged. Now again, this was 2 years ago probably when they did that, but you know they went to a Charger because they didn't want the Durangos.
Trying to be good stewards of the.
In my opinion, like I said, I don't mind downgrading to years, and I deal with a fleet of vehicles to get better equipment that's more reliable. I mean, they do these changes every year, everything goes equal, everything else, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. So I have a problem with that. The mileage is good. Is there a lock on that 85? Do you still think we can get it for that today, tomorrow?
Yeah.
Well, actually, you're getting.
And they're putting new tires.
Yeah, we're getting the game.
Yeah.
So we're trading in, we're trading down, which I've done several times for a better vehicle. What?
Why are they getting rid of it?
They don't need it. They're trying to liquidate because they want to
They have
upgrade
had
the fleet.
multiple officers. They
Quit.
they put on about 4 dogs for a 9-person department within the last year and a half. They've
Yeah, I've got-
lost multiple officers to where they're so low they're not even filling vehicles, so they're trying to get some
I
money
didn't hear
back.
that, so I.
Yeah,
selling vehicles.
I've been contacted by them too and asked if town of Ridgeville would be interested in vehicles.
Yeah.
So general voicemail if I was thinking that we were looking because they're gonna liquidate. They wanna move them because they wanna get some things done quickly.
Yeah.
So, as a representative, go ahead.
There is another hidden expense that on this transition. It doesn't. This vehicle isn't coming with a hot and pop system. It does have the kennel, but Nick has found the foundation that will donate the hot and pop system. Are they going to donate the weight?
It's the same foundation that did it for when we got the kennel and hot pop installed. Susie Buchanan in California, with the Gavin Buchanan Foundation. She paid for labor and installment and the equipment.
The hot and pop system is the safety.
But she
system.
cannot, she already made a promise to do it. She gave me the application,
Not to
made
take
it for
up
me. But I can't send it back to her
So you
until
have
we
to
got a
take it.
commitment on the vehicle because their foundation won't.
Okay, so, Council Ridgeville, I think it's a good move for us because we're inherently gonna be strapped. And I talked to our mechanic as well. And he said, you're just looking at dumping money electrically into all these and everything else going on with them. So I agree with that. I think it's well within our budget, which when it comes to budgets, Tim, you can't spend safety money on streets. Love to, but can't do it. It has to go where it's appropriated to, kind of thing. So we hear say we're spending something because the budget allows us to, not because we don't want to.
I'm just trying to get that into my town, clean it up a little bit.
I agree with you 100%. I'm right. I'm 100% with you.
And
So we're going back to the adult thing now.
you know,
Carbon. I agree with the move. Jeff, make the motion. I'll make the motion. Can you get a commitment from either source, and we can hold a special session if you can get it done? Because it's going to move. Someone's going to.
What I would do is authorize. You could make a motion to authorize Eric to make this transaction
At those costs.
at those costs.
I
And
make a
if it-
motion.
If it's different, then he'd have to come back.
The only thing that delays this is the fact that, we're waiting on Donnie to,
Get our car back out of the shop?
to actually, no, to take it down there to fix that one coil.
Okay, that's fine. That's
You
a
know,
minimal
and
cost.
so that delays however long it takes him to do that, but then, so
It
I
takes
can
him about an
juggle
hour.
all the other stuff.
If somebody wants a commitment, then that'd be in the minutes that you've authorized Eric to proceed at those prices.
So I'd authorize Eric to proceed at those prices to continue with the purchase and sell of the existing vehicle and purchase of a new vehicle at the cost stated by the town. If not, you have to contact the board. Board will have a special meeting to make and approve anything you gotta do to push this through. But I would think that you're confident enough at this point that you make the phone calls, get the commitment on the one, which really drives the commitment on the other, but we have the budget for the safety situation, which it falls directly under, to make that purchase. So move forward with the purchase, but please bring us back a commitment on the
Just
other.
go ahead and have them write out a commitment and have them fax it to the office.
Yeah,
And you
So
guys-
let's second it and vote on it.
Huh?
You need to second it and
Second,
vote on
yeah.
it.
Second, all in favor? Aye.
Okay, now you can
Talking.
stop.
Sorry about that. But,
I made the motion a long time
we are
ago.
capable of
We changed
making
it
the
just a little
commitment
bit.
on the purchase now.
Right
But
now.
I'd like to see you follow through on the other end. I'm saying,
Yeah.
so, I feel they're able to go ahead with that purchase. Go ahead and get the commitment on that and get it done.
We'll just have them email over, commitment.
Purchase agreement to the town, signed by, it has to be signed by their town, their, whatever.
Somebody over there with
whatever it is,
authority,
yeah.
chief or somewhere.
Boom, and then we'll make that happen.
Hate to make a move like that, but
Well, it's for the better of Ridgeville. We don't, a vehicle that can't run isn't doing us any good. Is there any other hidden expense in there that you,
well, like I say, I gotta.
the radar,
I
the
gotta
hot
take
pump?
pay someone to take the radio from one vehicle to the other.
That's minimal though.
I've gotta have, I gotta have someone wire the new radar, the new used one that I.
Same guy, I'm supposing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think I'm gonna try to keep it as close to $1,000 as possible, because the new used radar system, I can get
Yeah,
for
we
600
still
plus
haven't,
labor.
we haven't even hit the difference between the two vehicles,
There's
so.
a positive in it too, is later down the road, the dog is hips. A lot of these departments are
Not
wanting,
as high.
they're begging these car manufacturers to make these sedans again for these departments, and they keep making these toppers and trucks. All
Try
these
to get in
dogs,
and out.
hips start sagging, and you usually get 8.5 years out of a working dog, and now they're getting 4 to 5, and steroid shots and everything else.
Slipping, trying to get in, jumping up, not getting in, extending tendons and everything. I understand.
I got the same problem.
So there isn't no radar in the Dodge Durango we have now?
Yes,
Yeah.
there is. He's looking to see someone,
Okay,
we're
I
gonna
know he
cost
was-
to wire it over.
Okay, you
The
just want to use
radar
the
and
one out of the
everything.
Dodge Durango,
No.
stick in the
No.
Charger?
No.
So in other words, you want to buy a new one to stick in the
No,
Dodge
we'll buy a
Durango?
Used one.
Used one?
The same place. we got
What
the
was
first
wrong
one.
with the one in the Dodge Durango?
It
They
goes with
sell
the
it as
Durango.
is.
Okay, it's got to go with the car.
They want it to be as
Okay.
is. They looked it over and they want it, they're willing to commit on it, so they want it as is. Same as we looked at the one in Union City, we want it as is. There's no radar, but the dog cage is $5,000 deal right there alone. Hot and pop that Nick can get, he's been very good at that. It's probably $2,000 to $3,000 to have wired up to go. I mean, we're talking.
So there's going to be money left over if they
We're
buy the car
trading
for
off
$13,500. We get this one for $85,000.
so you're
There's
talking
money in there to
$5
play
grand
with.
we got to play with, to come out with a better vehicle than
Yeah.
what we had. So we have plenty of room to work with it.
At the end of the day, the thought process is this, that here in the next 2 years, we'll probably have actually a Dodge Charger that's worth more than what that Durango
Yeah,
is.
that and the car's only got
And the
50,000
Durango's
miles on it.
Yeah, and it's mostly,
Yeah.
But
it's been
there again, I'm
used
not a
by.
fortune teller, I can't, I'm just.
No, we get that, that's how, I mean. All right, real quick discussion on that situation from those who are willing to be representing here tonight to talk to us. Anything? Good, we're moving on. Now we're gonna open discussion for new business, really quick. I know you have something to say on the new business side?
Yeah, that was the only person I brought that up about my street being blacktop, because the last time it was blacktop was in '93. And I was pulled over leaving my place one night in the middle of the night to go to work, and he was asking me why I was on the opposite side the county officer was. And I said, I showed you. And he says, oh wow, I didn't even notice. I said, yeah, once after you pass Tharp's house here, this street is down to one lane.
Okay, what we'll try to do is I'll get with the street department, see if we can't come down there and do, all we can do honestly is patch. The best we can at this time. Try to take care of what we can, get with Randy, see if we can't devote some more attention to it, because we should. I mean, you come here to talk about it, and we should try to do what we can do for you. Let's see what we can do with that. I don't know, I have no promises whatsoever, but we planned on soon making a list of all the streets and doing what we can with it. Like I said, we had to revert back to a past budget, which robbed us of a lot of money, and that's just the way it is. We gotta deal with it.
Yeah, I just figured these two houses here that I was talking about would see the town trying to do something here, and they would clean up their own situations that they've got. You know, because I'm going down there and I'm doing things, hey, you know. And
Right. We
I'm
all
on that
want our
grass on
neighborhood
this
to be
side,
nice.
where them trees are real high through there. They're all leaning over on the road. One tree needs to be taken clean out, and the other one needs to be trimmed off. And I was going with a saw and just do it myself. That's what I usually do.
understand, Tim, I get you.
You know, and
Well,
these guys here, there's some guys that are living in this house that are homeless. They're trying to help these two elderly people out a little bit for living there. They're doing little bit things. But this group of people over here, they don't do nothing except just keep trashing stuff up.
Well,
And they've got this truck pushed out there now right to the road.
Well, Eric makes out of that, we'll see what we can
And
do with it. Or
if they would
tow it
just
off.
shove the truck back up underneath the car.
You know what happens to those vehicles that they leave abandoned, probably they don't even own, aren't even title them? We have to pay a record to come in, we have to pay the fees to store it until the court decides it don't belong to them. Usually costs us $2 to $3 grand just for reclaiming a vehicle that sits on the side of the road.
Well, that owner of that house, he comes there mows once a week. I would think that he would tell them people, hey, clean that mess up underneath that carport and get that truck
I'll
up
get
there
on
on the
it.
road.
Eric, take care of that. We'll have put some more attention your way. No other business meeting from the board? Next meeting, 8/5/20. What? Oh, Tony, please go ahead. Sorry, my bad. You weren't on the list.
You wanted me to check into the keys
Yes.
situation.
Yes.
We got a quote from this place, and that's just
Holy buckets.
Yeah, and this is their electronic thing that they have that they haven't got us a quote for. It's
We don't need electronics. I just
But-
want one key that opens every door.
Well, that's what this is for.
My goodness.
I guess my question is, what happened to all the keys that we had made?
Was that?
I said, what happened to all the keys that we had duplicated? And I know I give them a key box, and for some reason, that key box is not there, but a red one is, that was not the one I took down there.
What happens?
And I know there's one up in your office, or one of the offices I had for up there.
I've got that, mobile set to kind of everything. In fact, I handed out the keys to, I believe it's the gate to the sewage plant that I'm down to one key already on yet, so that I'd have to have more made, but I haven't done anything like that because I didn't know where this was going.
My objective was, for many years, is keys being handed out, this place being keyed professionally by a locksmith that comes in. So the council only has to have one key per council member and a key wherever in a box or something. They're just masters. It doesn't matter what door I walk into, what I walk up to, I have access to. I get everyone's approach saying, no, you don't need access to this. I don't need access to that until you're the one laying with a heart attack and I can't get into you. I'm not there to try to overrun you, look at your records, spy on you. I could care less. From a safety standpoint, the council truly lawfully has access to everybody in the town of Ridgeville. And I want that to happen because I don't want to carry this ring full of keys. No fault to anyone who made them first time, last time, second time, the fifth time I've been involved in this. I still got blank keys. Keys made, they're blank. They don't even, can't stick them in any door. That's fine. I get it. I mean, I don't really need anything. But if I go down there and someone says, Hunter's not left work, it's 5 o'clock, what's wrong with Hunter? I can't go check on Hunter, who may have run into some sort of gas or something else, or who knows what down there, who's laying on the floor dying, and I can't access the building. The fireman comes back. Never mind that. So his truck's still there 4 hours later. Why? I can't go check to see if I come through town because I don't have a key to the building. I can't unkey anything. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have to call 6 or 7 people to find out who's got the one key that says the right F, J, G, whatever it is to get in that building. So, this is expensive.
Yeah.
I don't, can that fall under safety?
Do you have a key to the old
Can I stretch it that far?
Which one, the old?
town
Well,
clerk?
look at this.
Me?
Okay.
Yeah, do you have a key to the old,
Yeah.
so you know where the fire or the tornado siren and all that
How
is?
much more is that though?
Okay. Just wanna make
Per,
sure.
per door.
So
If
you
you
got it,
go
he's
on
got it,
the
I've got it,
software,
and Tony's
Like,
got
I
it.
download an app and
Okay.
put it online.
We
and-
jumped the gun. Tony's not done yet.
So I need to probably go over that before you guys at some point. I don't know if it-
Hold on here. Apologize.
And the
Probably
generator
done.
down at the
We're
water
not.
plant.
So this is what it costs us to rekey everything professionally, to have a locksmith come in from probably, I don't know, where's he from?
2,800.
Muncie.
Yeah.
Jesus. I can
And people
There's a guy
lose
in
keys again,
Winchester.
or
She's not done yet.
whatever.
So,
This keyless entry smart door lock, you can get on there and you can create users for each door handle, door, whatever. You have your passcode that's assigned to you, however you wanna do it. So you're not a council member anymore, we get in there, we delete you out, you don't have access, and then it's to whatever ones, it's $67.98 a door. I thought, let's buy one, try it at the office, see if it works, how well everybody likes it, it's weather resistant, it's $67 a door.
How many different ones can you have with a?
I don't know if I can, I'm assuming I can sync
Program
them
them
all
all.
together, because I know the building in Winchester,
Or they were
they're all together.
programmable.
Yeah,
So next year you can change the code and
you
your
can
revenue change.
delete people, and I believe it will print a report and tell you who's been in where, and
'Cause that's the way we
you
have it
can
now.
do thumbprint, you can do a code, you can get the little fobs, assign
what do
them
you
to
guys think
people.
about that?
It's a lot better than
Eric?
losing keys and replacing
What's
keys
that?
every.
What do you think about this? Where
I think it's a great idea because, you know, there's times where you just,
your keys in
You
your
forget
car,
your
you come
keys.
in, you can't get in, you can just type your code in. I'm not
Guessing
real
that's
big
gonna
on-
require internet access at every single building that door locks at though.
We
No.
have that.
No,
No,
just
it's
the
all
battery.
electronic. The report will have to upload, but I mean, we have internet to every building we have, I think, right?
We do, but we don't have to have internet.
What about the power room?
It's battery operated.
I've seen them.
The ones on my doors last 7 days on the battery.
did they?
These are the ones that are used
All those
in
hands
the-
off the right with the key though. also?
Yes, they
I
do,
won't have out
they
the
do.
club, they
So
change
if
it
the battery
every
goes
year.
dead or whatever, I mean. the-
Count itself? I
One
think it's a good
code
idea.
takes care of every building, every lock out there.
Sounds like a good idea.
I tell you what, I say I'll make a motion. Tony gets one, gets it in, we install it, see how it works. Everybody will talk about it again, one way or the other, and then we'll, if it's an acceptable thing, we'll move forward with it. And then, like I
We'll put
said,
it in the bathroom.
you'll run that to death. So anyway, I think that's
You'll
where
get
we
a
should
good
go.
workout.
Looking forward to that. So,
I'll second.
all in favor? Aye.
I keep my mouth shut.
No other business, Tony? Where am I? Sorry, quick.
Here's the inspection.
Do I have to sign that?
No, I don't think so, but.
Kevin can.
Just for you guys to review.
Kevin, am I good here?
What is it for the
Wastewater
water?
facility inspection report.
I didn't see it. When did that happen?
Last
weeks
week,
ago.
I think.
Becky, your
Well, I
report.
think I got the report
Yeah, it
last
was
week.
just Andy Schmidt coming. He just came just to check on after all the rain we had in April, just come do a quick run through, see how we're holding up. I mean, I think there was only one thing he noted.
Did we pass?
Yeah. Just the only thing he noted was just there's some stuff at the effluent that he didn't even know what it was, and he just kind of said, just clean it up real quick and we'll call it good. That's all he
Because
was-
my name's on it, so is Randy's. I don't see Kevin on there anywhere. All right,
Other than
appreciate
he's
that.
happy with everything.
Fair enough. Thank you for your input.
Okay, one more quick thing. My turn this time.
Yeah, good.
Get with Randy and check on the bush hog again. Legion called me yesterday. They're willing to donate. They just need an answer on what to do.
Can you handle it, Hunter?
Yep.
Fantastic.
I'd like to ask one more question.
Yes, sir.
It's about, it goes back to what the clerk's office was gonna be moved down here. Was the police department gonna be staying up there in that office, or is there enough room in this facility down here to move the police department down here?
Not enough at this time for the police department to be down here. they'd have advantage of that whole building
Yeah.
for what they need, because they need more room than they
Yeah, I
have.
know they do, just had a little spot back there.
Right, so, we thought publicly in a public building, bring the clerk down here, have that all enclosed in one, and then work on something else up there. They're in and out, these ladies are in here, you know,
Yeah.
every day, all day, 4 days a week, anyways, all day. So, we wanna get that moved, but like I said, again, I failed. I made some commitments that I would look into it and do it and help draw up some plans, and I've done absolutely nothing with it. In fact, I'm not sure I put the prints Jeff Doss brought me that I asked for. That's how much I failed on it, so that's my fault, and, I'm gonna talk with Jeff about maybe him taking it over, he's got more time. I'm
They
completely
should be
coming
in
up.
down there by winter time, shouldn't they?
I thought Bill
I would
had
love to
all
make
kinds
that
of
commitment
time.
to you, but there's a thing, if it's on my shoulders, probably not, because.
That would leave them more room in that
Yes,
facility up
absolutely, they need
there.
it, and they need the room down here, there's more room for them here, it's the move we need to make, but like I said, I've got a lot of commercial experience in my lifetime, commercial building, but my own business has taken every ounce I have right now, and, I guess when the grass is green, you cut hay, and that's what I'm trying to do, so I got a family to protect and my own property, so
I
I'm
feel
not
it's gonna
down
be
short
greener.
Ridgeville, but you gotta prioritize everything, and I've not had time to work on it, that's my fault, and I take responsibility for that, so we'll talk about our board members, see if they can't take over, it's nothing crazy to do, I'll assist and help out, I just do not have the time to run that situation, and I committed to it, so it's on me. We'll move forward with it, and I'd like to get that done, so, any other business bring before this board?
Hi. So since I'm in charge of the compliance plan and the agreed order,
Hmm?
anytime we have an inspection or anything does get fixed down there, I need to be notified.
Who do I need to tell to do that? Hunter?
Either
Hunter and Randy, I'll take care of that.
All I knew was that he was there. I didn't get a report or nothing.
Okay, we'll make
So,
sure that you're in the
I wanna
loop.
be included in the loop.
Honestly, I didn't get anything.
Absolutely. I will, if you got a number or someone I can call, or we'll figure it out, make sure that you're included, you're in it, and you're notified.
Because I can't do the agreed order update.
If you don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's right.
100% get that. Call me
Okay.
tomorrow, we'll talk about that, we'll figure out who I call, and I'll make that happen.
Okay.
Just call me after 10.
Yeah, because I mean, I'll text and get things 2 days later, 3 days later.
No, we'll-
I need to know immediately.
I agree.
Okay.
You're the one saving my behind on this whole degree thing and getting everything up to spec, so
Right.
yes, we'll make that happen.
So.
Any
I
other
appreciate
business?
some cooperation there.
I got you, oh, absolutely, we'll make it happen.
All right.
No other business? Next meeting will be, I said, what, 8/5?
No, 8/12.
8/12, I don't have my paper, 8/12 of next month. Yes, ma'am,
I don't know if it's old or new,
don't matter.
but my dog was attacked on my property, on my porch, and I'm sure you've heard about it. He, since Eric thinks he's probably had that collar removed that he had on because I got the collar wrong. But his face was as white as the attorney's shirt. It's stark white, and it doesn't show in that picture. And his ears stood up like a German Shepherd. Now, if you have money for safety issues, could you please have some kind of a pound or a kennel down there?
Yes, ma'am. We're working on that with, when the building's put in, we're looking for a place to keep them. We're also working with the county to come over for animal control and take them away.
I hope you find that one.
The problem is, every community's facing this, and there's just not enough people doing it, and I want to solve your problem, I really do. I want to make it better, and I can't take back what happened.
I know you can't. I never take
What
my
I want
dog
to
out.
never happen again.
I never take my dog out without a leash. And the minute I saw that dog coming out of the east alley by Maynard and Jeannie's house, I knew I'd
That's
never
an
seen it
Arkansas City.
before. And it was scary
Cost.
because my dog saw it before I got him in the house on my porch. And all he did was bark. And that dog shot up that sidewalk grabbed him around the back. He's got 2 puncture marks here, one over here where that dog had him. If Jacqueline Hirschberger had not come over and called, stop, stop, or something, I don't know, he would have been dead. And
What?
it's just, I know, I understand, but if you see that dog,
It's upsetting.
oh, it is upsetting. Could have been a child.
Yes.
There's children playing out there
Yes,
all the
ma'am.
time.
Yes, ma'am. We're working on it. We'll continue. I wish it didn't happen to you. I really do. I mean, there's nothing I can say or do, and we'll do better. All I can say is we'll do better. We'll continue to work on it and do our best to take care of it. And have you seen the dog lately?
No.
Well, what we think has happened with the dog is whoever the owner of the dog is fully aware of what happened, and that dog's gone on extreme lockdown. Everyone I talked to,
Is that the one that was painted or taped?
this one,
The same dog that was on Facebook that was,
Yes, it
had
is.
paint and tape
Yeah,
on it?
they had a pink harness on it.
Well, no, I'm talking about, I mean, it's the same dog that there was posts on it where someone painted
No, totally different. But this dog is just literally, no one knew whose dog it was in the first place when they saw the picture. I've not crossed one person's path yet that has said, hey, I know whose dog that is. On the other hand, it has appeared and disappeared just as fast, it's just poof, gone. I don't think, judging by, like she said, the face, white, it's an older dog. And so, it's not like it's this dog that's been running the countryside and all of a sudden wandered into town. It's not that situation. It's someone's dog that most likely doesn't commonly get out since no one recognizes it. So I think what's happened is they got word of what's happened and put it back on lock.
So it's on your guys' radar?
I have a feeling it's in this town. It's just.
But it's on your radar. Keep an eye out.
Oh,
We'll keep
yeah.
an eye out for all dogs running
Yes.
loose. We'll do what we can do. Again, I apologize.
You don't have to.
No, I feel for you. I really do. I've got dogs too, so.
It's an owner issue.
All right. Any other business bring for the town? I'm making a motion to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. Please feel to contact us anytime. You can call us, or you can get Tony, and you can call us. And if you have situations or problems, we're always here to take the call. You may give a voicemail, but you're free to call me with a situation. I'll come talk to you. We'll see if we can solve the problem every time.
Anybody can call the ones that I looked at monthly.
You can have everything.
I don't want everything.
Put padded chairs in the padded chairs. You can
What are you looking for?
I think you're gonna make the cotton candy.
That's half of my shit.
Not much.
Right here, Tony.
So,
Tony.
yeah, Tina.
I haven't